Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Covering both sides of the big issues with the analysis you trust on News Radio 1040 WHO.
Well, the fight for free speech and religious freedom seems to continue on our college campuses. A Student Government Association candidate at the University of Houston was recently denied a position with the Student Government Association Supreme Court, seemingly due to her religious beliefs. Now, she wanted this position, so she gave a little speech where she quoted a Bible verse. She was then asked to leave the room while folks debated whether or not her religious beliefs would create a bias if she sat on the Student Government Supreme Court. And one of the students did tell the media that there's a heightened concern over this due to the recent overturning of Roe v. Wade. Now, trial attorney Sandra Spurgeon's on the line with me, author of a book called Courage to Stand, Mastering Trial Strategies and Techniques in the Courtroom. And Sandra, what did you think of this? Because there does seem to be a heightened awareness of religious beliefs in the aftermath of Roe v. Wade. What did you think of that being taken into consideration as this student was asking to be put on this government association, student government's Supreme Court?
Well, I think that the student government body got it wrong. Particularly in light of, after that, the release of Roe v. Wade, quickly on the heels of that came Kennedy versus Bremerton, where there was a coach who, after a game, did a silent sideline prayer, and the Supreme Court stated, respect for religious expression is indispensable to life in a free and diverse republic. The Constitution neither mandates nor tolerates that type of discrimination. So in reality, what we're seeing is that the University of Houston has a very active conservative student body who was standing up saying, listen, we understand that the anti-discrimination laws were in place to prevent people from discriminating against people of different color, different religions, your sexual orientation, your gender. But look, it has swung so far to the right, you're now discriminating against people for religious beliefs. And the University of Houston just had to settle a lawsuit with a conservative body there in June because of discrimination, allegations of discrimination against a conservative group on campus.
And Sandra, I'm concerned that this is becoming more and more mainstream because in the aftermath of overturning Roe v. Wade, there was a lot of discussion about Justice Amy Coney Barrett's religious belief. That was fully on display in the questioning that was put to her. And I feel like that this is becoming an unacceptable way of quizzing folks who would want a position on a court or a position in law. What do you think, Sandra? Is this becoming an increasing concern?
I think that it is. I mean, I think that, in growing up, I was in a public school and there was, a clear delineation between church and state. And so the question is, to what extent are they going to allow religion to be considered and to be talked or spoke by governmental employees while in the course of their position? This student candidate, by the way, didn't hold a position, right? She was not speaking in a public position. That was her own personal belief. So what they were saying was, well, just because you made that statement would believe or tend us to believe that you can't be fair. And how discriminatory would that be? I mean, when you look at Kennedy versus Bremerton, if this young girl files suit, they're definitely going to have to deal with that because they do not meet the elements under which her statement in any context, even if she made a statement, a religious statement, she was not a governmental employee or an employee of the university from that standpoint or at that point in time. So how could they have made a preemptive strike to saying you aren't qualified?
Well, Sandra, it's interesting you're talking about the settling of lawsuits or the basis for a lawsuit. And what strikes me as ironic about all of this is if you and I were sitting in a job interview and the person doing the interview said, I'm sorry, but I think your age is a real disqualifier here, you'd know something was badly wrong. It seems to me like we're going to have to get to that point that people need to recognize that you can't use people's religious beliefs as a disqualifier. But we're not there yet, are we?
No, we aren't. And our country is it's so divisive at this point. People will say to me, "You're so politically correct," and it's because I try to get my message across without offending the left or the right at times. And so it is very important for us to understand that what these decisions mean and the implication that it has upon our ability to express our religious beliefs.
That is trial attorney Sandra Spurgeon. The book is called Courage to Stand, Mastering Trial Strategies and Techniques in the Courtroom. Sandra, great perspective on this. Thanks very much.